All right, yeah. Thanks so much for staying for Talkback. So yeah, this Talkback is dedicated to the current level 1 student that Minnie and I are teaching right now, which is cool. Hi, Lily. And then there's like extra guests here too that are just rad. So thank you all for sticking around. Just here. So does anybody have any questions for our performers? Yeah.
You guys talked about something Harold. Was it Harold?
Yeah.
What's Harold? Who is he? What were you talking about?
Oh, wow.
Right over my head.
The Herald is a long-form format created by Del Close many moons ago, called that for no reason.
Sure.
And it's basically just about, I mean, it's not directly narrative, obviously, but it's about gaining inspiration and creating a through line of whether it's plot or character or theme or just an idea and heightening that help.
Yeah, it's like it's a specific formula for a show. So right,
Yeah,
so
it's
that
just a show
format
format.
is the Herald, and there are different other formats, the Armando, there are different other show formats. That's just the one. It's got an order to how you do things, and then all the scenes are improvised that you make it up in that order. It's just it has a general flow to it.
Right. Does that answer your question?
What is the format is the question. I see that it is a format.
Like you want me to break it down specifically?
That's level 4.
Is that long?
Yeah.
Do you have a presentation?
So like for example, so the basic rule is it's 3 scenes, and then a little bit of a breather, like a group game that everyone, or mostly everyone plays, and then we return to those same 3 themes again, like in order. So the very first scene was I'm the worst in the prison yard, and so when we came back to that category again, then it was I'm the best at toll taking. So it was superlative. So the general idea of superlatives came back around. So it helps you to like order your thoughts while you're putting the show together.
Fun facts, the Seinfeld is written using the Herald. Have you watched
Most-
Seinfeld episodes? Most of them, yeah, you can watch
Most
that.
TV shows
Most
in
TV
general,
shows in general,
are,
yeah.
but Seinfeld specifically made a point of it, right?
Yeah, and it was also, Del Close was, this is a fun fact I learned about the Herald really recently. Del Close is Wiccan, and the Herald is actually based on a series of spells. So, like, that's why it's with the number 3. It's so prevalent in the Herald. And so it's, yeah, that was like a little fun fact. I was like, whoa! So that's cool.
That is fun.
So, witchcraft.
Yeah. Warlock,
Phew.
Del Close.
Yeah.
That answers my question.
Okay. That was the
That
was
Yeah.
Yeah, the answer was warlock.
Got it into all future answers. Got it.
Any other questions? Yeah.
I'd love to know how you came up with your objectified format. Did that just come up organically? Did you guys discuss it?
My friend Lou, who was here in Objectified, heard a podcast where they interviewed people as objects. She wanted to take that and kind of turn it into an improv thing, and it's evolved from just like a talk show interview to now kind of we try and make a format similar to the Herald, or not similar to the Herald, but somewhat of a structure, and she loved it because somebody once told her never be an object. She's always being fishes or
I love being objects.
Right.
Objects and animals and all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of her way of being well.
So out of spite then.
Out of spite.
Yeah.
It's out of spite.
I love that.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah.
Other questions?
So what week are you guys in?
6, going into week 6.
Oh wow.
We just finished week 5. We had a snowstorm in there, so.
Yeah.
You guys hit
We know how that is. Yeah.
the winter classes.
And are you guys all completely new to improv, or have any of you? Yeah.
Yeah, the class is pretty.
Yeah, you thought you were asking us questions.
We'll turn the tables.
What were some pitfalls that some of you experienced or struggles when you were first learning improv that you had to work on turning around?
Being jokey and trying to be funny was a huge problem I had, because I had that in my head that I'm a funny
person, I should do improv. And then you start doing improv, and you're like, I want to try to be funny all the time because I want people to laugh. Then you realize that you like, especially in long form, you derail scenes and you make it harder for your scene partners to work because you're throwing in lines that don't necessarily support what's happening in the scene. It's more self, you're doing it for yourself as opposed to doing it for your scene partners. Once I kind of got past that, and that took a while for me because I had a more short form background. That was hard to do, so I had to concentrate on being more. I just worry about what's in the scene, and the funny stuff will happen, and the best stuff will come out of it. But yeah, I think one of the toughest things was being jokey, trying to be funny.
One of the things that I remember was just hesitancy of getting out on stage and trying to think of all the things in my head or wanting to have a well-formed idea before getting out on stage. And I remember there was one time I did a show, it was just 3 of us, and that was like the first time I really remember multiple times in a row walking out with nothing. And that was great, just to just feel what that felt like and that it's gonna be okay and you'll find something and to just know that your teammates will take care of you and you'll take care of each other and you'll find a scene.
I had a really hard time letting go of my body and like not being afraid to move in silly ways and just make myself look ridiculous and stupid and ugly. And I think, not to be all whatever about it, but I think that's more prevalent with women, is that we want to be pretty and we want to be seen in particular ways. And having a gross face or being like, just like doing stuff that goes against all the ways that we've been shown to present ourselves is a scary thing, and it's a thing that I had to very consciously get over. And I found that object work helped, or being inanimate objects. I am a tree, or I am a whatever, and just like putting myself in things that weren't just standing still being cute. Like, do something with your body, and then the rest of it will come more easily once you've turned that switch off.
Asterisk 2, Rachel is TAing the next level 2, is
I
that right?
am.
Yeah.
With Mr. John Ring.
With Mr. John Ring, too. Oh, yeah, oh, right, yeah, oh, this John, oh, okay, I was thinking, oh, yeah, this is a 2 for deal.
Yeah.
So, just plugging that. Which I think will time out nicely with when your level 1 wraps.
Yeah.
Is the theory, right? Yeah, okay,
I think
yeah.
so.
Any other questions?
How do you know when to finish? Like sometimes it feels like, it almost never feels like you're
When
going
they
for the
turn the
big
lights
laugh.
off.
You know what I mean? Like, when do you finish the next bit? You know what I mean? When you run across with the hand in the air or whatever. Like, what are you looking for? What are you listening for? Because it seems as though it's never after the big laugh, and it's never in the middle of the silence.
Well,
It should be after. Yeah. You're right. That's
I know.
There was a moment in
we need a accurate observation right there. Yeah.
I think it was the first scene. Yep. There was a big laugh in the first scene, and I was like, that was the wipe.
I saw you.
I was still lifting weights, and I was like, nope, okay.
I tried to pull back because I always wipe, and I was like, you know what? Let it breathe a little bit. But
we all let it breathe.
Yeah.
Comedy
It's all breathing
is
tests.
rhythm, it's music,
A lot of
it's,
breath.
you know when it's over, you
Right.
feel it.
Yeah.
Because you want to end on a high note. Like
Yeah.
you want the audience to be in a good place, feeling good while you clear the stage, and then get set up to then find the next thing.
Because you can always bring it back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't
And
worry
it-
about
and it-
swiping too early.
Always in early, yeah.
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 Always.
And it's that trust your feet thing too. Like,
Yeah.
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 There are times where you take that step and don't go, and then you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked around a couple times tonight, and everybody on the wings was like doing this.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
Yeah.
just go, just go.
Yeah. It was. I would say for Jackpot, it was an unusually hesitant night.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
We had a
We
couple
weren't
we had a couple dead
we weren't
stage
tight
moments.
yet.
Yeah, I would say that our edits were a little weak tonight.
I appreciate
Sorry.
you guys
Sorry.
being out there.
I'm not like cat.
No,
Me
this
too.
is great.
Me too.
Y'all
I
share
always,
this stuff. This is really good.
No, I think it's good. I mean, it's
Yeah.
good for you guys, especially to see that, like, we
Scenes.
critique our show.
Yeah.
We do say like, that was good, but we really should have edited it quicker.
Right.
We should have done this. Yeah.
Ideally, it is on the biggest, and like not that
Yeah.
you can predict what the biggest one is going to be, but like I have almost never, after a show, had a cast member say, like, you wiped me too early. I was going to do this amazing. It's almost never that. And if it is, it's like, I don't care.
Yeah. What kind of format do you guys critique a show? Like, do you guys hang out after the fact and talk about it, or is
This
it
is the most we've ever talked about.
Yeah. But you said yourself, you're like, sometimes you talk about, you know, what was a weakness of the show. Is there any
we will, like, sometimes we'll go back after a show, and we'll let chat with each other for a couple of minutes, and kind of, we don't have a specific, like, we meet and like, really,
like
you know,
post-mortems.
post-mortem
I imagine
show.
that you guys like were watching your movies like playbacks, like on football games or something.
No, I think we'd all rather die than do that.
I'll be totally honest, I've never watched one that I'm in. I've watched other people's, but I can't watch myself anymore.
Improv does not translate to
It's
film.
gone. It's like, the moment that up here is gone, and I'm happy with it.
Then
I'm
you
happy
just
with the
record
life.
just in case, just like.
Other people will watch them.
Yeah.
I have a dad.
His dad watches them all the
But
time.
there is a lot
I
of
watched the
value
shows.
in talking about it after
Yeah.
the fact.
Yeah,
Like,
there is,
talking
yeah.
about it just even for just 10 minutes and being like, oh, I felt blah. So somebody else can say, no, I saw that as this. Or, yeah, maybe next time we can try, you know, what can we work on? How can we fix what happened? And there's
There's
so much value in that.
Even if it's not in a conversation, just like reflecting on what you thought you
Yeah.
could have done better, or the things that you wanted to work on as part of it. Like, feel
I
like
usually
that
just apologize.
That's classic improv behavior, right?
Write a check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say it with a
You never think you did as good up here as you may have done.
Yeah.
Like, and trust me, we all do that. We're like, you know, I can't, like, you know, we're doing it a little bit now, but you always feel that way.
My instinct is, like, if you do a bad show, I kind of want to, like, leave. I don't really want to talk to anyone about it. But if I may talk about Mindy, our art team, whatever's cool, one night we had a really bad show. We all felt really bad about it. And silently, like, we're all sad. And then we all came together and talked about it. And after that, it was like, we kind of flipped the switch a little bit because we're like, oh, what are we missing? We're not having fun. It sounds very simple, but after that, it was better. And we like connected a lot more after we like shared our feelings with each other. It was great.
Yeah, I coach a team, and we always post-mortem shows. Sometimes on the night of, sometimes at the next rehearsal, because they rehearse every week. So, and we always discuss that stuff. One of the most important things that I push is like, you have to be honest with your teammates. So stuff's happening up here that you're not comfortable with, or that's not working, that needs to come out because it's gonna show up in what happens up there. And so, when we do post-mortem show, it's not so much I felt like, oh, this wasn't funny, or that wasn't good. It's more like, oh, this was what you were thinking when you did that, because that's not what I was getting from you, or you didn't. When you did this, that wasn't the message I was getting. I was getting this message, so that's why I went this way. So it's more of a. It's not so much of a. You know, you weren't funny, or you missed this laugh line, or you missed this beat, or it's usually like, we should have edited it sooner. You know, we should have done a tag run on that thing. That had a great game going on. We should have tag run through it, or something like that. It's usually specific mechanical stuff, and a lot of it is developing relationships with teammates. Like we have to be able to work with each other pretty honestly, or else we're not going to work up here real well for you. So
All that said, you're going to have a lot of bad shows, and it's fine.
And nobody dies.
It's
okay. It's not an operation, so you can make all the mistakes.
all teams have bad shows.
Yeah.
You're gonna have them.
Yeah.
That make you better.
Yeah. You acknowledge it and you move on.
And it's also a very personal thing. So like, I've definitely had those shows where I wasn't satisfied with my performance in the show, and then afterwards I'm just like, man, that show sucked, and everyone else around me is like, that was amazing. Right, because you guys were amazing.
Me too.
Can you think of the last maybe idea or advice or concept or something that you've brought into your performances on stage? So like the most recent advice or something like that that you've gotten?
Life advice or like improv related?
Improv. I mean both if you want.
Actually, I get some tonight. That's really funny. Like, Rachel said to me today when we were playing, we're doing a warm-up of 6 things that I don't know if you guys have ever done, but basically it's, you know, give me 6 things about this, something, whatever. And you're supposed to kind of rapid fire it, and I always think, I do a hesitant. I really wasn't noticing how much I was doing it. And Rachel just challenged me tonight. She said, I want to challenge you to just say the first things in your head, stop thinking about it, and start getting in your head. And I was like, wow, that's great. And I appreciated that for her being honest with me, but I also started thinking, even like tonight in the show, yeah, I do kind of like, I overthink stuff, like you're on the side, you're thinking in your head, and you're like, what do I do? What's the next beat? What do I have to do? And you get so busy thinking out about it that you come out here with not much of anything. So I tried not to think as much tonight, and just like, oh, this, go. Frick, it's the first thing that came to your head. You know, is my second thought really better than my first thought? I don't know. Try the first thought. It's the first thing that came to your head. Just trust it and go with it, and let it go. Yeah.
One thing that I feel like I think about more often lately is about relationships, and just if a scene is not going where you want it to go, it means you don't have a relationship with the person on stage with you. Not like the actors, I mean like the characters. So I think whenever I'm in a scene that I'd like to inject some energy into, that's something that I always try to think about. Like, what is our relationship with each other? And how can I make this about us as opposed to external things? So that's always like kind of green.
I saw a video of Chris Gethard, a comedian. He just says in it that improvisers that are more hesitant tend to, like, when the show starts, they get a word and they look down, and improvisers that are more open, they get a word and they look up and they look at their teammates. So I try to think about that. I'm just like looking at people, and, like, what are you thinking, instead of like, what's a funny thing? Yeah.
Oh wow, that's great.
And now they're all gonna say that at the next Talkback.
So it became our thing. That's our thing.
I learned 2 things tonight.
And now I'm like in my head immediately. I'm like, I always look down.
Looking down while you said
God, this is like 15 years
Yeah,
wasted.
I
God, a lot of years I put in this.
I look down and away. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
It's okay to be quiet. Silence is okay. You don't have to freak out because you don't know what you're gonna say next. Maybe what you're gonna say next is nothing, and that's just as good, if not sometimes better. I get worried, like, and I don't have to be.
But in those moments too, object work is great.
Yeah.
So like if you're not speaking, even if you just are taking a moment to gather your thoughts, then do something physical.
Move your body.
Yeah.
Move your body.
And
Turns
kinda
off
like-
your brain.
Kind of like reinvesting in what's already been established, like not having to just keep on inventing stuff. Just take stock in what you've done so far in the scene, what you have in front of you to play with. Because revisiting things and really finding out what they mean to your character and what this character means to you, that just doubles down into the scene.
We sound like we really know
Well,
what we're
rad.
Can I ask one more?
Yeah.
What's each of your go-to object work? Like, what's
Oh,
what's the line to like that you do the most?
Probably a drink.
Yeah,
Go to the refrigerator, get another drink, have a cup.
that, or I did smokes, and I always just, like, do a cigarette.
Just getting a cup. Always.
Unless someone's handing it.
Take it.
Take the coffee.
I don't accept it though.
I'm trying to get away from this, but I used to always either sharpen something
whittle
or
like a
whittle
motherfucker.
something.
Yeah.
Whittling or sharpening.
Or butcher an animal. I've seen you do a lot. Yeah, a decent amount.
A lot of knife work.
Yeah,
A lot of
a lot of
knife
knife
Oh yeah,
work.
I'll cut.
I've seen
oh,
like,
man,
I've
I'll
seen
cut.
like, yeah.
I'll cut a carrot.
I flip a lot of pancakes. Like
Yeah.
sometimes they're not always pancakes.
And like
sometimes-
confidently too, like
Yeah.
very like
Yeah.
chill.
I do it at home.
Right.
And then I've noticed I do a lot of just like kind of staring off as to like I could be
think that's
like,
object work.
Yeah.
well, no, like it could be I could be staring at a screen. I could be looking out a window. I could be watching TV.
That doesn't count as object work at the class.
Just saying.
You don't get any points for that.
They're students, Justin.
Laundry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
But those repetitive
Sheets.
tasks are great
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
again, like
Yeah.
if you're having a moment of quiet in a scene, then there's still something to look at. There's still like a visual thing going on.
Yeah.
It's never supposed to be about the object.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
We don't want to hear about this shit.
Yeah.
No.
You ever seen a theater show where they fold laundry, like real laundry on stage, and they fold it sloppy, and like it just makes you scream because
Yep.
why would you
Oh,
fold
yeah.
laundry like that? Like still play to real life.
Yeah.
It's
You
gonna
know?
ring.
I know, but invisible laundry is always folded perfectly.
I'm so good at folding a fitted sheet on stage.
Oh,
Only
Terrible
you
in
on
real life.
stage. Yeah.
That's great. This is a good talker. This is really great stuff. That was some juicy answers.
Good questions, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to
Yeah.
go.
Good work, class and guests. Thank you all. That was awesome.
Yay!